I'd recommend citing some true facts. I've watched the video and it's just a conspiracy theory. Haha! Looking for wrongs in an organization does not make you a better person. Hey guys, it's me, your favorite Opus Dei conspiracy theorist. Did you miss me? So if you saw my last video, you know that I'm not really planning on doing any more super intensive deep dive videos on Opus Dei for the foreseeable future. And if you didn't watch that video, you can go back and check it out and that'll explain why. But I am definitely under no illusion that this series is over. I fully expect that I will be continuing to make videos as we go along because there is just more coming up practically every single day. And there's a lot of stuff happening that I would love to be able to get into, but I can't quite yet. And so I promise whenever I am able to, I definitely will be. And that would be a good reason for you to subscribe if you haven't already, so that you will be here whenever that happens. But I thought for today it might be interesting to kind of go through some of the comments that I have been getting on these videos and respond to them because they do raise some points that I've never explicitly made in any of my videos, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of bring everybody back to square one, hopefully put everybody on the same page, and then we can all proceed together as one happy Opus Dei conspiracy theory family. And by the way, I'm going to be trying to keep this video on the shorter end. I don't think any of us want to sit here for 45 minutes while I go through and read all these comments. But if this video does well and you enjoy it, then give it a thumbs up. That lets me know you liked it, and maybe even leave a comment, and I can do more videos because I have quite a few comments now. For this video, the comments that I am going to be going over are from the first video that I ever posted in this series. And when I posted that video, I had no idea how it was going to perform, if anybody would watch it, if anybody would care. Nobody on YouTube was or still is really talking about this thing, so I had no idea. It was a shot into the void. But since then, it has garnered quite a few views. It is the second most viewed video on my channel now, which is crazy. And there are 23 comments, so I had a nice selection to pull from for this video. The majority of these comments are from really sweet, awesome, supportive people, basically reaffirming and telling me what I already know. But of course, there are a few peppered in here that are obviously from people who are super into Opus Dei, and those are the ones that we're going to be responding to today. Now, I do want to make an interesting note. Something that I noticed is that if I get a comment from someone telling me I'm super wrong and I'm a conspiracy theorist and blah blah blah, I will usually 9 times out of 10 get a couple more practically exactly like it within the next couple of days. And it's either a troll with multiple accounts, or it's a group of people who are just systematically attacking my channel. So I'm not really sure which it is. I honestly don't really care. It doesn't make any difference, but it's just something that I've noticed and it's kind of interesting. So for this first comment, I'm pretty sure that this is probably a fake account. It is from an account called Filipino Voice, no profile picture. And something that I've also noticed, just as an aside, I've not really mentioned it in any of my videos because it hasn't been super relevant. It just doesn't really prove anything other than that Opus Dei is literally everywhere. But I've kind of noticed that Opus Dei seems to have a pretty big presence in the Philippines. So if you live in the Philippines or you're familiar with the region, let me know if that's true or not. That's just kind of something I've noticed. So anyway, Filipino Voice comes in very strong and with caps, no less, which just makes me feel like they are shouting. Opus Dei is faithful to the Catholic faith and morals. Ultra-conservative is an old-fashioned, biased view against those who simply want to be straight and faithful. And I thought this comment made a good enough point, so I responded to it. And I don't respond to every single comment because that'd be a waste of time. But I did to this one, and I said, I take no issue with someone wanting to lead a religious life or follow a certain set of guidelines. And that is true. I think I've made that point at least once or twice, but if not, let me state it here for the record. I don't have a problem with that. Absolutely not. And if that were truly what Opus Dei was all about, we wouldn't be talking about it. I don't care. You do you. If you want to lead a very restrictive lifestyle, if you feel like that is what is beneficial to you, and I don't say restrictive in like a restrictive, I just mean like based off of the way everybody else in society is living, it's restrictive, but you feel that that's what you want to do and what is best for you, if that's what you feel is your calling, then do it. I mean, that's the reason why we have monks and nuns and holy people, because they feel that they are called to that, and a lot of them are very, very happy. No issue there whatsoever. And then I go on to say, stop distracting from the issue at hand. I recommend you do some research and look at a source other than Opus Dei's own website. And that is in reference to a different comment that Filipino Voice left on this video, which was literally just a link to Opus Dei's website, as if I don't know that Opus Dei has a website or I've never been there. And it just seems to me that comments like this are kind of like a red herring. They're trying to create an issue out of a non-issue, which in this case is apparently me saying that being conservative and wanting to lead a certain type of lifestyle is a problem. But it distracts from the issue at hand, and with the only information that you can present to substantiate what you are saying is from the source of the issue, well, it doesn't create a very strong point. And time again, people will accuse me of not being factual, even though I list every single source that I use for each video in the description. And I say that in the video. It would take minimal effort for somebody to go and look at that information. These concepts and opinions that I am expressing, because these videos are all, of course, my opinion based off of the things that I've read and the people that I've talked to, they come from somewhere else. It's not just me talking out of my ass and spouting off the top of my head whatever comes into it. They come from a source. So if you're going to take an issue with something that I am saying, maybe address my source as well, because I'm not the only one saying this. I just happen to be, at the moment it seems, the only person who's putting it all into one place so that it's easily accessible and digestible. So anyway, moving on. This next interaction was kind of interesting. It hadn't happened yet, so I wanted to include it. This is from Luis Havaloyes, and I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm pretty sure this is probably a real person because it sounds like a real name and they have a profile picture, even though I don't know what that is. Anyway, they said, this video is anti-objective, only looking for things that do not discolocate his primary vision. Also to reach more than 23 visits as it has in his normal videos. I don't know what he means by that last bit. But they accused me of being anti-objective and only looking for things that make Opus Dei or Escriva look bad. And so I said, I recommend you take a look at my sources, linked in the description. Some of what I talk about is open for debate, which I stated, but the rest of it is substantiated. So I'm pretty sure what he was talking about is, in this first video, I mentioned some of the theories and rumors surrounding Escriva and his character. And I made sure to make the point that it was not substantiated. They were basically just rumors and to take them with a grain of salt. And I made sure that I said that. I understand your need to devalue anything critical of Opus Dei, but I recommend you exercise some critical thinking and objectively look at the information being presented. Now that last statement was a bit of a shout into the void, because I recognize the fact that when I'm talking to somebody who is very pro Opus Dei, who has, as we like to say, drunk the punch, they are not going to be capable of that critical analytical thinking. And I've made that point before in past videos, and I know that. I know that, but I could not help myself. Please, for the love of God, just use your brain. Probably won't happen, but a girl can wish. But then, after I made that comment, he came back and said, sorry, I didn't need to say that. I was having a bad day. Which I appreciate, you know? I really, really do. I thought that was honestly really nice. That doesn't happen a lot on the internet. So thank you, Lewis. You know, there's no reason why we can't have a cool-headed conversation about all of this. You can bring your facts and I can bring my facts and we can meet somewhere in the middle. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to be critical of this issue, but it does mean that, you know, we can at least be human while we're doing it. So I thought that was nice, and it made me smile. This next comment is from someone named Bauer Crank. Maybe there is somebody named Bauer wandering around, but I don't know. That doesn't seem super likely. Also no profile picture, so you know. Anyway, they said, looking for wrongs in an organization does not make you a better person. Yes, they have made saints. There are great people doing good works in the organization. So a couple of things. We'll break this down into two parts. First, when at any point in this entire series have I said that I think that I'm a better person than anyone in Opus Dei? When have I ever said that? Do I maybe think highly of myself because I have, at least up to this point, managed not to get sucked into a cult? Yeah, maybe, but I'm not so proud that I can't acknowledge the fact that it happens to all kinds of people and could just as easily happen to me if the circumstances were right. But I've never said that I think I'm better. I have a lot of sympathy and compassion for the people who make up Opus Dei, the ordinary people that are just trying to do the right thing. I would hope that that doesn't seem like it's coming from a place of superiority. That is something that I've always tried to stay away from, but I definitely don't think I'm better than anyone. And then they said, there are great people doing good works in the organization. Yes, I know, and I have said that. I acknowledge the fact that there are good people just trying to do the right thing, who have the best of intentions. My criticism with Opus Dei has never been with those people. That should be obvious. And I feel like it is, but for the record, we'll just go ahead and state it here. My criticism of Opus Dei is with the organization and leadership in the upper echelons. It's not with the ordinary, everyday people who really do believe that they're answering a God-given call. That's never been the case, and I feel like you would know that if you bothered to watch the entire series, but maybe not, so I'll go ahead and say it again. This next comment is from someone whose name I will definitely not be trying to pronounce because it's probably African, if I had to guess, and just beyond me. It's just my neighbor leaving for work. Anyway, they said, I'd recommend citing some true facts. I've watched the video and it's just a conspiracy theory. Haha, happy to discuss with anyone, exclamation point. Here's what Opus Dei is. And then they launch into a paragraph that is obviously copy and pasted from Opus Dei's own website, which they link down below, and we have already discussed why that is a problem. I included this comment just because this is where my little intro,
"It's me, your favorite Opus Dei conspiracy theorist,"
came from. It's funny to me that you can present all of the facts in the world, and for some people it will just never be enough, and you will always be nothing more than a conspiracy theorist. And I think we see that happening within our own society as well, just with politics and social issues and everything in general. But to see it happening with this topic as well is just really, really funny to me. And being called a conspiracy theorist kind of tickled me a little bit. Obviously, they didn't do their due diligence and actually look at the sources that I cited in the description, but that's fine. So anyway, those are some of the comments that I've been getting. I thought it would be fun to go over them and just kind of address a few things, lay it all out on the table. There are more, and I am continually getting more as time passes, and I think that will probably continue to be the case. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please give it a thumbs up. You can leave a comment down below, whatever works for you. Do subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you've noticed by now that this is not the only thing I do on this channel. I kind of like to dabble in a lot of different areas, and I love to vlog and kind of just go wherever the wind takes me. So please subscribe and you'll be around for all of that fun. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, depending on where you are, and that I will see you for the next video, whenever and wherever that may be.